A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
On February 28, 2026, tensions in the Middle East sharply escalated.
For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged.
Israel, with support from the United States, carried out direct strikes on Iranian targets, turning what had long been a shadow conflict into an open confrontation. Israel described the attack as preemptive. According to Israeli officials, they believed Iran was moving closer to developing nuclear weapons, expanding its influence through armed groups across various regions, and creating security threats that Israel says it cannot afford to ignore.
We strongly reject the accusation made by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Iran, however, rejects these accusations. Iranian leaders say their nuclear program is intended for civilian purposes, including energy production and scientific research, and they insist that they are not pursuing nuclear weapons. Iranian officials also say their regional alliances are defensive in nature and meant to protect their security, not provoke conflict. Because of these opposing claims, tensions between the two sides have remained high for years, and recent strikes by both sides have moved the conflict from the shadows into the open.
Yes, Sandra, we just got this in literally 2 minutes ago, but Fox News can confirm that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury. We have hit hundreds of targets. It was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval. Iran's formerly supreme leader. Ayatollah Khamenei is dead.
The conflict is no longer limited to the countries involved. It is now affecting the wider region and the global economy. Here's how. The concern comes down to geography. Iran is positioned along the northern side of the Strait of Hormuz, and with the ongoing confrontation, it has warned that if it comes under further attacks, it is prepared to respond by disrupting oil shipments passing through that waterway. That warning matters because the Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important oil routes in the world. A large share of global oil supply passes through this narrow waterway, so even small disruptions there can affect fuel prices, trade, and financial markets worldwide. And according to the intel, the disruptions have already begun.
We could see oil prices at 150, 160. Wow. We're going to cut capacity. We may have to charge more for our seats. Airline prices are already rising. This is an overall inflationary effect, and we don't know how long it's going to last.
There have been reports of attacks on commercial ships near the strait, and naval forces from several countries have increased their presence in the area, saying they are trying to protect shipping and prevent further escalation. Experts are also pointing towards several possible methods Iran could use to disrupt the passage and make it unsafe for the commercial ships, including naval mines, missile strikes, fast attack boats, or drone attacks targeting tankers. Even the risk of such actions is enough to make shipping companies reconsider the route. Early signs of disruption are already visible, with some tankers slowing down or changing course, raising concerns about the global oil supply. Shipping companies are becoming more cautious, insurance costs are rising, and oil prices are turning volatile as uncertainty grows. At this point, the situation is no longer just a regional conflict, but turning into a global crisis. Asia is especially exposed. Roughly 80% of the oil moving through the strait is going to Asian economies, including China, India, Japan, and South Korea. India, for example, relies heavily on crude oil imports that travel through this route, so any slowdown in traffic can have direct economic effects. During the recent tensions, oil prices have already moved sharply higher, at times crossing the $100 per barrel mark, reflecting market fears about supply disruption. Because of this uncertainty, some governments are discussing the possible use of emergency oil reserves to keep markets stable if the situation worsens. Another major power reacting to the situation is Russia. President Vladimir Putin is warning that the conflict could trigger a new global energy crisis if Middle Eastern oil supplies are disrupted. Analysts say that if exports from the region fall, major producers like Russia could become more important to the global market. That raises the possibility that this conflict could reshape global energy politics once again. This is not the kind of crisis that the world saw during COVID, but it is an economic slowdown driven by energy shortages. Water economies depend heavily on stable and affordable oil supplies. If those supplies are disrupted, factories can slow down, air travel becomes more expensive, and shipping costs rise. When energy prices increase, supply chains are affected, and the impact can spread across global markets. All of this risk is tied to a narrow stretch of water in the Persian Gulf, a passage only about 33 kilometers wide, but critical to the world economy. The Strait of Hormuz has always been called the world's most important oil choke point, but now it may also be the most dangerous. 3 nuclear powers, trillions in global trade, and a waterway barely wider than a city. If diplomacy fails, the next global crisis won't start in a bank or a virus lab. It will start in a narrow strip of water between Iran and Oman, and the entire world will feel the shockwave.